So as you know, for years I've done photography, and I always wanted something kind of neat to control everything. Photoshop gets more detailed, a lot more stuff. You got to use a lot more brushes. So I bought this Logi mouse, the MX Master 3, and I absolutely loved it. There are so many ways to control things. There's a wheel on the side, a few buttons. You got a left, right. You can push this button. There's another one here. You can actually control with gestures. It's amazing. I loved it. But I wanted to try something a little bit different. Something I thought might help, because working with brushes in Photoshop and Lightroom can sometimes be a pain with a mouse. So I bought myself this, the Wacom Intuos Pro. I bought the medium, and to be quite honest with you, I think the small one would have been fine for me. I don't need the medium because for photography, I'm not doing a whole lot of large brush strokes. So this is great if you're painting or you're doing some art where you really need that, but I don't do that a lot. I work within certain areas. I'm highlighting areas or doing stuff. Photography, you don't really need the large. Anyways, I bought myself the Intuos Pro, and I absolutely love it. You can do so much more with this. You can really get in there and do a lot of detail. That said, the pen that comes with it, although it works great, as you guys know, there are a few buttons that you actually use. I was having a little bit of trouble clicking on these buttons, getting used to it. It takes a little time to get used to using a pad like this instead of a mouse. There's a lot more to it. But I was really not loving the pen. Just grabbing it, gripping it, pushing the button was just uncomfortable for me. So, went online, looked everywhere, and I found this, the Ergo. Now, it's not too expensive. I'll put the price up here, but all it is, comes with instructions, and it's basically this little rubber thing. Now, if you buy this, make sure you read the instructions on how to put this together. Don't just skip forward. I read a lot of horrible reviews about this, and it was all because people did not know how to put it together. People were buying it and trying to slip it over. It's not how it works. So it's a little more complicated than that, but it's not too bad. I'm going to show you how to put this together, but it does come with instructions. So read the instructions if you're not going to watch this portion of the video. But let's do that. Let's put this all together and see what it's like. All right, first things first. Again, I mentioned it doesn't go on like this. You'll have to take the pen apart a little bit. So here's what we're going to do. First, this little silver piece and this little silver piece are going to go away. We're not using them anymore. So I just kind of pinch it and it pops up. Put my nail underneath it. It just pops up like that. It's plastic, so be careful. Don't break it. Then this piece here, you unscrew it. There's a little washer in between the black screw-on cap and this. So this we're not going to use anymore. Sometimes when you take it apart, this kind of sticks to it, so just make sure you get it off of it. So the two silver parts were taken out. After that, the button. I was a little nervous at first taking that button off because I just didn't want to break it. This is like $70, $80, so I didn't want to break it, but it is meant to be taken apart, so you can kind of squeeze inside it and pop off, pull it straight up. Now don't worry too much about putting this back exactly the same. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there are two sections of it. There's two pieces. There is a small piece here, large piece here. So it's a little divide. The smaller piece, all right, it just flew off my hand. Anyways, smaller piece goes towards the front of the pen. Stupid thing just flew, don't know why. So anyways, back to the installation. Now we're gonna take this and we're just gonna pull it off. This piece or this thing, the Ergo, goes directly on it. And when you put it on, you're going to be able to see the, you're going to line it up with the holes. Let's see if you guys can see that. You're going to line it up with the holes. So that way, you can put this piece directly in again. All you do is drop it. It's got a square and two circles. Drop it in. Okay, a little jump cut there. I got it in. Just took me a little second. It took me a second because it was hard to do it at this angle to show the camera. Now, all we do is put this screw or this cap on here. That's it. That's all you need. Now, it's quite a bit more comfortable actually. You know, it's a little more weighted towards the bottom here, obviously. So even when I'm doing stuff like I flip it to use the eraser and then I flip it back, it's just easy and quick to find. When I didn't have this, I would flip it and then try to feel for the buttons. So it took me a second longer with this. It just, because of the weight, it just makes it pretty easy to flip. That's not the main thing. The main thing about this is it just, for some reason, feels more comfortable when I'm pushing these buttons, especially the top button. It's a little squishy. It's not too bad though. Feels great. Feels really good. You can really get in there if you're angry. You know? So I'm pretty comfortable with that. And I know you're probably wondering, will it fit in this little tray? Yes, fits perfectly. You can still put it on this way. It just has to sit at a certain angle. But yes, it'll still work. I never do that anyway. This is how I do it because I just like, it's just easier for me. So yes, you can still do that. Now, the old pieces that are not being used anymore, you can obviously do whatever you want, but here's what I do. I don't like to throw things away like this. So what I did is I just took this piece here, slid it in, this piece at an angle, and I just simply dropped it in the container just in case I ever sell this or don't need it for some reason or want to switch back. I don't know. It doesn't take up much room, so I'm just going to take this and store it somewhere. But this has really changed the game for me. The pad is great to use. I absolutely love being able to use this, and actually the brush is really important for me, especially when I'm highlighting certain areas or we're adding shadow to some spots. It's huge. Or when you're trying to cut things out or things like that, you really want to get in there detailed, and it's beautiful to use. I am a huge fan of the Ergo. Huge fan. I don't think I'll ever be going back to the old pen. One thing I do wish, I wish it was available in a different color. All that was available was orange when I got mine. So I'd love for this to be like a gray, black, something monochromatic, even like a red. I don't know why they chose orange. It was the only color available when I got it. Just not a fan, but it's fine. It works. If they ever come out with another color, I'll make sure I get it. So it's a good tool, and I'm pretty happy with it.